INS Grass 217 comes with new presets for mowed grass. So now there are new Clumps presets, which renders fast at a cost of visual quality. There are regular old presets, which looks very good, but are heavy to render. And there are OPT presets, which are a hybrid of these two. So they use as models from regular presets as first 4 LODs, and clumps are rendered as last LOD with 30% of base density. For comparison, I will be adding preset for medium cut with checker pattern. I will start with clumps version. Blur clumping is set to 0, so density is unified along 75 meters clump distance. And I press render button. Rendering it took 1 minute 44 seconds and 728 megabytes of RAM. I will set slot for next render. Now I will set blur clumping to 1, so density will be getting smaller as the distance from the camera increases. And I press render button. This one took 1 minute 38 seconds and 650 megabytes of RAM, so it's 6 seconds faster and saves 78 megabytes of RAM. I will set slot for next render. This time I will add regular version of preset with blur clumping set to 0. And render. This one took 2 minutes and 24 seconds and used 2023 megabytes of RAM, but it looks really good. I will set slot for next render. I will just set blur clumping to 1 and render it. This one is 22 seconds faster and needed 500 megabytes less RAM. And the difference between blur clumping set to 0 and 1 is hardly noticeable. And I will set slot for next render. And now I will add optimized OPT version. This preset has blur clumping set to 1 by default. In LODs section last LOD have clumps instances and its density is lowered to 30%. Let's see how it looks like. This one took 1 minute 49 seconds and used 735 megabytes of RAM. Let's compare it with clumps version with no blur clumping and blur clumping set to 1. Let's also see regular versions with blur clumping set to 0 and 1. And OPT version again. It is quite apparent that checker pattern is less visible in OPT version. Main problem lies in shape modification. Clumps instances for mowed grass stops to blend well with regular instances at wind effect values higher than 15-18 degrees. In regular presets, this value is set to 60 degrees, so they are more bended. This value can be set higher for OPT if LOD with clumps will be drawn farther from camera. You can enable LOD4 with clumps instances in all presets based on small, medium and tall grass. For example, I will add G202 medium green dry. All you have to do now is enable LOD4 for viewport and render, decrease LOD4 density to something around 20-30% and set scales to fit your taste. Let's render it. That's how clumps instances look like at far distance. That's all. Thank you for watching.